The secret psychology behind why women sleep with men, relationship truths introduction, more than just desire in every generation. Men and women ask themselves questions about love, intimacy, and human connection. And one of the questions that has lingered longest is this: why do women sleep with men? At first glance, the answer may seem simple: desire, chemistry, attraction. But as anyone who has lived long enough knows, intimacy is never just about the physical. It carries with it hidden motives, unconscious needs, and unspoken truths. For women especially, intimacy is layered with psychology. It is often a reflection of how they see themselves, how they value connection, and how they navigate the complex world of relationships. When a woman says yes to intimacy, she is rarely just saying yes to the man she is saying yes to. What he represents in her emotional world: love, validation, security, power, or sometimes escape. In this video, we're going to uncover the secret psychology behind why women sleep with men. Not to judge, not to reduce intimacy to stereotypes, but to reveal truths that can help you, whether you are a man or a woman, understand the hidden drivers of desire, make wiser choices, and build healthier relationships. Asterisk 1. Beyond biology, the emotional map of intimacy biology tells us that men and women are driven by hormones, chemistry, and instinct. But biology alone doesn't explain why one woman might guard intimacy like a sacred bond, while another might give it away casually. Psychologists call this the emotional map, the inner blueprint shaped by childhood, culture, self-worth, and life experiences. For some women, intimacy is deeply tied to love. For others, it's about validation. For some, it's about control. And for others still, it's about freedom or rebellion. This is why two women can have completely different reasons for saying yes to the same act. It isn't just about attraction, it's about what intimacy symbolizes for them at that moment in their lives. Reflection for you at home. Before judging someone's choices, pause and ask yourself what emotional map might be guiding them, and what map guides you in your own relationships. Asterisk 2. The search for connection. When the body speaks for the heart, that the core of human longing is the need to connect. In today's world filled with distractions, shallow conversations, and endless digital noise, true connection feels rare. For many women, intimacy becomes a bridge to closeness. In that moment, she is not just giving her body, she is seeking to be held, to be understood, to feel safe. Oxytocin, the bonding hormone, floods her system, deepening her emotional attachment. What might feel like a physical act to a man can feel like an emotional bond to a woman. But here lies the hidden risk. When intimacy is used as the primary doorway to connection, expectations clash. A woman may feel love, while a man may only feel pleasure. This mismatch often leads to heartbreak. Practical solution: if you are a woman, build emotional intimacy outside the bedroom first. If you are a man, recognize the depth of her attachment. Connection is not only physical, it must be nurtured with presence and care. Asterisk 3. Validation and the silent struggle for self-worth live in a society that measures women relentlessly by their looks, their youth, their desirability. Many women, even successful ones, quietly wrestle with insecurity. In that battle, intimacy can feel like proof. If he wants me, I must be enough. But here is the painful truth. No amount of external validation can fill an inner void. A woman may wake up the next morning emptier than before, realizing his desire was fleeting. But her longing for worth is enduring. This is why some women fall into cycles, seeking intimacy again and again, hoping each time it will confirm their value. But it never lasts. Practical solution: if you are a woman, ask yourself, am I doing this because I want to, or because I want to feel wanted? If it's the latter, pause. Build your worth in ways no one can take away from your passions, your growth, your integrity. If you are a man, respect the weight of this. Do not exploit validation-seeking behavior. Treat intimacy with dignity. Asterisk 4. Security and stability. The ancient instinct still alive throughout history. Women have leaned on men for protection and resources. Even though modern women are independent, the instinct for stability remains alive. In the subconscious, for some women, intimacy is a way to secure loyalty, to strengthen a bond, or to ensure commitment. Others may use it as a strategy, sometimes consciously, sometimes unconsciously, to maintain stability in a relationship. This does not mean women are manipulative. It means the psychology of survival and the longing for safety often intertwine. With desire. Practical solution. For women, remember that security built only on intimacy is fragile. Seek stability through shared values, honesty, and responsibility. For men, recognize the trust she places in you when intimacy is about safety. Do not betray it. Asterisk 5. Rebellion and escape. When intimacy becomes a statement, not all intimacy is about love or closeness. Sometimes it's about escape. A young woman raised in a strict household may use intimacy to assert independence. A woman in a suffocating marriage may seek it outside as a way to protest silently. Others may use intimacy to numb loneliness, to drown stress, or to feel alive when life feels empty. But intimacy used as rebellion or distraction rarely brings fulfillment. More often, it creates regret, guilt, or deeper wounds. Practical solution. Before using intimacy to escape, pause. Ask yourself, what am I really running from? Because no act of passion can heal what only inner courage can face. Asterisk 6. Power and influence. When intimacy becomes currencies, some women discover that intimacy carries power. It can influence decisions, open doors, or hold sway in relationships. In these cases, intimacy is less about vulnerability and more about leverage. Used this way, intimacy becomes a form of currency. And while it may yield results in the short term, relationships built on transactions rarely survive long term. Eventually, resentment and mistrust grow. Practical solution. For women, ask, am I using intimacy as love or as leverage? If the latter, remember that power built on manipulation is fragile. For men, be discerning. Differentiate between genuine affection and transactional intimacy. Asterisk 7. Healing through intimacy. The body as a bandage. Other hidden reason women sleep with men is healing. After heartbreak, rejection, or trauma, intimacy can feel like reclaiming power. A woman may think, if he desires me, I am still worthy. Or, this time I won't be abandoned. But intimacy cannot fully heal emotional wounds. It may soothe them temporarily, but healing requires deeper work, self-reflection, therapy. Spiritual growth. Practical solution. If you find yourself using intimacy to heal, be gentle with yourself. Understand that it's a bandage, not a cure. Seek real healing through self-awareness and support, not just through physical closeness. Asterisk 8. Fear of loss. When yes is driven by fear. One of the most heartbreaking reasons women sleep with men is fear of losing him, fear of rejection, fear of being alone. In these cases, intimacy is not chosen freely but given as a compromise, a desperate attempt to hold on to love. But this sacrifice erodes dignity. When intimacy is exchanged for approval, it leaves behind scars of regret and powerlessness. Practical solution. If you are a woman, remember, if you have to give yourself away to keep someone, it is not love, it is dependency. If you are a man, never demand intimacy as proof of love. True love is freely given, never coerced. Asterisk 9. How to apply this truth at home. Now that we've explored this secret psychology, how can you use this knowledge in your daily life? Pause before intimacy. Ask, am I doing this from love, from freedom, or from fear? Build emotional intimacy first. True connection must be grounded in trust and honesty. Respect the emotional weight. Intimacy is never casual, it leaves imprints. On the soul, heal your wounds before sharing yourself. Don't use intimacy as a bandage. Heal, then love. Choose wisely. Whether man or woman, choose a partner whose intentions align with yours. 10. The awakening truth, at the deepest level. The psychology behind why women sleep with men is this: we are all searching for something. Love, validation, security, power, freedom, healing. Intimacy is the language through which those longings speak. But here's the awakening truth: no external act can replace internal wholeness. True love begins when you no longer use intimacy to fill emptiness, but to share fullness. So, if you are a woman, remember, your worth is not measured by who desires you. It is measured by who you are when you stand alone. If you are a man, the weight of a woman's choice. Behind every yes is a story, a longing, and a soul. Treat it with reverence. Closing. A message from Awaken Mindset. This is why we created Awaken Mindset, to reveal the hidden psychology of relationships, love, and human behavior. Because the more you understand, the freer you become to choose wisely, to love deeply, and to live authentically. If this message gave you clarity or touched your heart, I invite you to subscribe to Awaken Mindset. Explore our playlist on relationship, truths, psychology, and self-growth. Let's build a community that seeks not shallow answers, but deep understanding. Because awakening is not just about the mind, it is about the heart. And together we can awaken both.